we say quite often in this work that the best alternative to an abortion is another person. So it's our goal to connect them directly to that center within their community so they can have that ongoing relationship.
Welcome to Lifeline for Leaders, a podcast created to strengthen and connect those serving in pregnancy care clinics and pro-life ministries. I'm Linda Thomas.
And I'm Kirk Thomas. Each week we sit down with leaders, ministry partners, authors, and experts who shape the pro-life landscape, sharing practical insights you can use right away and inspiring stories that remind you you're not walking this journey alone.
Our mission is to help you serve with confidence and resilience. This is your community, your support, your lifeline. Today's lifeline is clarity and confidence as you prepare for the upcoming Heartbeat International Conference. With the conference just 1 week away, we're talking about how to show up prepared, focused, and ready to make the most of every opportunity, whether this is your first time attending or you've been coming for years. And along the way, we'll also learn more about Heartbeat International, the organization behind the conference, and the global network supporting pregnancy help ministries worldwide. Joining us today is Andrea Trudden, Vice President of Communications and Marketing at Heartbeat International.
Hi, Andrea.
Hi, Andrea.
Hello.
Welcome.
So glad to be here. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. I know that this has probably got to be one of the busiest times of the year for you.
It is fun. I say it's like an adrenaline rush for about 2 months, but it is so good. And I've been a part of it for a couple decades at this point, and it's my favorite time of year.
Oh, that's such a great attitude. I love that. Well, Kirk is going to lead us in prayer, and then we're going to dive right into some questions, okay?
Yeah. Lord, thank you for Andrea and for the mission of Heartbeat International. As we prepare for this upcoming conference, we ask that you will unite our hearts, strengthen leaders and teams, and bring fresh encouragement to everyone serving women and families. Give us wisdom, clarity, and renewed passion for the work you called us to do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right. So, Andrea, couple questions for our listeners. And most of our listeners probably know what Heartbeat's about, but if you could just tell us, what is Heartbeat International?
Yeah. So Heartbeat International is Association of Pregnancy Help Organizations. So that includes pregnancy resource centers, medical clinics, maternity homes, adoption agencies all over the world. We currently have around 4,000 affiliates in more than 100 countries. And the conference is a really great time to see God at work through pregnancy help because it's a combination of everybody coming together. We definitely have our own unique elements within pregnancy centers and maternity homes. The mission is the same, to be there to serve women and provide them with life-affirming alternatives so that no woman feels that abortion is her only option. In addition to our network, we also serve women directly through our option line, which is a bridge to their local pregnancy help organization. So it's a 24/7 helpline, optionline.org, where if anybody, woman who thinks that she's pregnant or a boyfriend whose girlfriend's going through a situation, they have questions or are very just nervous and scared and need somebody to talk with, they can call any hour of the day and speak with one of our trained consultants to get those immediate questions answered, and then also be connected with their local pregnancy center because we say quite often in this work that the best alternative to an abortion is another person. So it's our goal to connect them directly to that center within their community so they can have that ongoing relationship.
Awesome. And I've had the opportunity to be at the home office a couple times, and I've had a tour through the option line, and that's an incredible operation of just what all the people that are doing in that. I mean, it's just amazing to do that. And I encourage any members that are in Columbus, Ohio to stop by and just take a walk through because that's amazing. So how many, this is going to be my 15th year going to the Heartbeat Conference. Do you know how many conferences there's been so far? Have they?
Oh, in total?
Yeah.
So conferences are actually one of our founding pillars of Heartbeat International. So Heartbeat started in 1971, and like the next year they had a meeting together because they knew the importance of that networking and sharing of ideas and what was going on in their part of the world. We started with about 200 affiliates because we were kind of answering needs across the different countries. Mind you, this is before Roe v. Wade happened, but different states have been legalizing abortion, and their pregnancy help centers were popping up. And they knew primarily by doctors, by the way, starting them and getting them up and running because women were coming to them with these questions. And so it was like, we need to get together. So a conference has actually always been a part of our mission, that along with a connector point option line, and then resources, training manuals, and things like that. Those have always been key to our organization's founding.
Yeah, yeah. It's always exciting to hear where the next conference is going to be announced. And I know you guys sort of keep that confidential until you're there.
No,
But
but it's going to be a fun reveal this year.
yeah, yeah. I've
Yeah,
got, hey, I want you all to go back to Seattle one time because that's the one that got or canceled in COVID
COVID.
days.
Yeah.
And I was,
that was such a fantastic memory for those of us on staff, and literally pivoting an entire conference to virtual within about 5 weeks in 2020. But it also was the catalyst for when we started doing two concurrent conferences, one in person and one online. And that allows us to reach so many more people. So it's like, oh, it was such a memory,
yeah.
but it really was the catalyst for great things.
Definitely.
Amazing.
And there'll be some, I know I'll be an exhibitor at the conference, but there'll be, you guys have some exhibit booths at the conference also, don't you? That people can come to and visit, right? Can you tell us a little bit about those?
Yeah, absolutely. So we love, my main role is actually coordinating all the different sponsors and exhibits in the space, because while we have the entire space, of course, for inspiration and learning, we also want to provide the tools and services for those working in pregnancy help. So thank you for what you do in providing great insurance insights and products for centers, because it is so limited and we know that. So we are so appreciative of you guys. And then in addition, we have a variety within the main hallway of the Cincinnati Convention Center, and we have a place that we call Heartbeat Central. So that's where everybody can come to sign in, ask questions, meet with our consultants and our affiliate services team to get all of their questions answered. And then we also have what we call our ministry solutions groups. So we have some products that are for her. So we have our option line and our abortion pill rescue network. But we also have organizations that are designed products for those working in pregnancy help. So we have our Extend web services. They do marketing materials, social media marketing, things like that for pregnancy help organizations. Next Level has client intake forms, and they have a database available for both clients and then a donor database. So they're going to be there with some services, as well as our Maternity Housing Coalition. As I mentioned, we have pregnancy help organizations, maternity homes, and adoption agencies as part of our affiliate network. And the
Mhm.
Maternity Housing Coalition is really honed in on the networking maternity homes. So that has been fun because there's we have about 185 affiliates in the States, but then we also have a couple hundred more internationally, because that in different parts of the world, that is the prevalent way of providing pregnancy help. So we have these ways of connecting and providing those resources within. But we'll all be in the main foyer with Heartbeat Central, and it'll be easy to find.
Awesome, awesome. Well, our two cockapoos love to come to conference too. So I just booked our VRBO that's about a mile from where the Duke Conference Center. So we're looking forward to it, and they're looking forward to it. So, any challenges that you see that are coming up today in the pro-life movement, and any encouragements that you want to, speak about, Andrea?
Yeah, it's been quite a fascinating time just in the movement, I'd say, over the past few years, because starting with Dobbs, so going back to 2022, of course, that took the decision back to the states. And we really did see kind of a separation of life states and abortion states. And so we are doing what we can, working with different state coalitions to navigate those appropriately and equip our pregnancy help organizations the best that we can with information and education to continue to do their job that they're meant to do. Unfortunately, in some hostile states, we are seeing states' attorney generals target pregnancy help organizations. In New Jersey, we saw there's actually a Supreme Court case going on right now that should be probably decided by June. The state's attorney general was literally demanding that pregnancy centers give them lists of all their donors, and no founded reason as to why. It opens quite a door for nonprofits to simply
Mhm.
have to hand over information. So thankfully, our coalition is very strong in New Jersey. not a shocker. They fought back, and it got all the way to the Supreme Court, and I'm walking right alongside them. We also issued amicus briefs. Again, they have a very strong state coalition, good affiliates. They're going to be on site at our conference as well to hopefully give us an update internally too. But we were very, very optimistic as to how that case will go. But that's just one example of what we are seeing different states' attorney generals doing. We personally at Heartbeat International are being sued by both attorney general from California and New York. And that has actually been happening for a couple of years at this point, because they don't want us to talk about abortion pill reversal. We are allowed to provide it, but we're not allowed to talk about it. And that is a very interesting delineation there, because they don't want information on websites. They don't want billboards or anything along those ways up, which ironically we don't do at Heartbeat. We don't advertise, because we offer information on websites for women seeking it out, but we don't advertise much at all. And so it was interesting, and we are very confident in how those will go too. And they did include pregnancy help organizations to try to silence them from talking about APR. Thankfully, we are seeing some positive motion going on, because it gets a little complicated, but we're being sued at the state level, and some of our pregnancy help organizations attacked back at a federal level. And so those are moving along nicely. We are walking through the process. We're holding true to our work, and we're doing everything that we can to keep that distraction off of our pregnancy centers' plates so that they can focus on what they do best, which is to serve women and help families. And so that's where we are there. Switching slightly topics, the main thing that we're seeing and that we're going to be focusing on a little bit more is how quickly abortion pills are getting into the hands of women, either through friends or just online. These are things that we're watching in the various states because people are bragging about it. There was a study that was issued last summer that they had followed the group Aid Access, which is in Europe, how many abortion pills they had sent into the states. And it was hundreds of thousands, and 80% of them were going into life states. And so that is a legislative issue that we're not incredibly involved at that lobbying level, but we are certainly having conversations and making certain that people know our views, that this is not okay. The states have the right to say, no, we don't want abortion. So then to have these organizations come in and just completely bypass them and say, well, New York has a shield law, so we're not going to punish that doctor for sending things into Louisiana. So we're monitoring all of these elements and educating however we can. We are submitting amicus briefs in the court systems whenever appropriate, but we're doing what we can to offer the care and information for pregnancy centers to help combat this unfounded and unprecedented situation that we are seeing in today's land.
Yeah, well, hold on. I insure that center in New Jersey, so they've been in our prayers about a favorable position, and the things that you all are doing, that you've taken from Dr. Delgado's abortion pill reversal, and anybody out there that is considering abortion pill reversal, the first thing that I tell them to do is call up Heartbeat International, because they'll lead you the right way and get you the right policies and procedures to get that going, and make all of your medical staff, including that medical director, comfortable with that process. So sorry to interrupt you, Linda. I know you've got a couple of questions.
That's okay. There's so much to discuss. I'm just wondering, what is it in this atmosphere today that you're doing, that you're most passionate about? And I mean, you've covered so much, and there might be a little crossover here. But what are some of the things you're doing to equip organizations to be prepared for some of those things that are being thrown at them on a daily basis sometimes?
You are not wrong. There's a lot going on, and it does almost feel like a daily basis of, okay, what's going on? Who do we need to communicate with? What do we need to get out there? And we, thankfully, we have great partner organizations that we work alongside. So you may know we manage pregnancyhelpnews.com, and that really is kind of our first line of defense in all of this because we are keeping track of as many things as possible and then tapping into our friends to help communicate as well. So that helps us determine what is out there and really going through the lens of our writers in addition to our internal writers here because we follow along what trends we are seeing depending upon where they are in the nation. And that could be anything from, for example, we are seeing a surge of fatherhood programs, and that is very good. We are encouraged by that, and we're following how many organizations are adding those. It's actually grown by like 5% over the past couple of years that they've been implementing men's programs because we know the importance of fathers in these decision making. When a woman feels supported, she's much more likely to make a life decision. So pregnancy help organizations know that, recognize that, are getting programs in place to help grow that part of their service. And so we've now added that additionally and very intentionally more to our conference this year than in past because we're seeing the need. So as we're following trends, then we are moving on it. So we happen to be at conference time. So there's going to be a lot of different topics discussed there. But in the months that we're not, we have continuous webinars through our Heartbeat Academy because we want people to stay educated. We work with Americans United for Life as well for that policy side of things. And when something comes out that is either very state focused or at a national level, if a new bill has been introduced, we are putting out that information and inviting pregnancy help organizations and individuals to sign on to letters or to send a note to their supporters to be aware that a committee meeting is coming up. So we're looking at it at that high level, and then we narrow down because we don't want to overwhelm everybody with everything. That's our job, is to filter that and then be mindful and get into the hands when appropriate. But yeah, right now at our upcoming conference, we're going to have a variety of different tracks. And one of those is trending now. And those are current things that we are watching that vary year over year. And so we have some very good discussions about HIPAA coming up and then the policies that we're seeing in the nation. And anybody who is interested and going to be on site will be able to join in on that, or post conference, they can actually purchase those talks.
You certainly do have a lot going on, like I said. And you talked about the men, getting men more involved. And interesting, we are speaking to Andrew Wood, who I think has been a leader in just that. So we'll be speaking to him, and he'll be on our podcast very soon.
Yeah, he's got a really good new book coming out that we're going to talk
it's
to him
out.
about.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So excited.
He's very good. Yeah. He'll be with us at the conference as well. But he's just a wealth of knowledge.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
So-
exactly. So if you could choose just one thing to tell somebody at the local level, one thing that they could do to stay focused on the mission, to keep them going in something that on a daily basis may seem overwhelming. I feel like I use that word a lot because it's such a big job that the big people in this ministry do. Is there one thing, single thing that you could isolate and figure out to talk to them about?
Kind of. So I will say what we do, and I have a sample of a show too. Every morning at 9 a.m., we get together for prayer. And it's as a team, it's through Google Meets, and everybody who can hop on. And we have about 10 minutes of silliness and levity. And we call it, Oh, the Places You Can Go, because it's just fun camaraderie, because we have several colleagues all over the nation. And so that's our time to really come together. We, of course, used to do it in person. And then as we've grown, we still intentionally take that time to get together, pray for one another, pray for the movement, and pray for any very specific intentions that come into us through our pregnancy help organizations. My favorite thing that I actually change out monthly, you'll see Baby Queen behind me, but I have a plethora of what I call baby cards because they have the different stories of moms who were served through pregnancy help. And then on the back, it's their story. And so it keeps the mission right in front of me. And like I said, I change my baby out every single month. We also have a calendar that we are surrounded by the mission, both in text. We literally have the mission on our walls, but then these pictures that are the reminders of the lives being saved. We're a little step removed because we are not on the front lines. We are not meeting with women directly. They don't come into the Heartbeat office, but through Option Line, we get the stories through the consultants. And then through We host a Babies Go to Congress event where we get together with the moms, and then the pregnancy help organizations sharing their stories with us through Pregnancy Help News. We do literally print them off and keep them with us because it does help us stay focused and know that the work that we do is good. It does get overwhelming sometimes. It is a heavy mission that we've been called to, but it is so good. Seeing the multiple people who've been in this movement for decades is very encouraging, along with the encouragement and excitement of the newbies who've just joined in and they're still figuring out, wait, there's more than one pregnancy center in my town and state?
Yeah.
Yes, you're not doing it alone. We're here to help.
And they bring fresh energy, and then they see how you're energized, and it just keeps on going. So I love the idea of the cards and the photos of the babies, and it keeps it very, very real and keeps everyone focused, I'm sure. So, one of the things too that keeps people in the ministry focused, energized, like I just said, is the conference itself. So I want to switch gears just a little bit and talk about the conference. That's all the time we have for today's conversation with Andrea Trudden from Heartbeat International. But we're not finished yet. In our next episode, Andrea will take us a little behind the scenes of the Heartbeat International Conference, sharing what goes into planning it, what attendees can look forward to this year, and why this gathering is such an important moment for leaders serving in the pregnancy help community. So be sure to join us for part 2. Until then, thanks for listening to Lifeline for Leaders. Thanks for joining us today on Lifeline for Leaders. If today's episode was meaningful, feel free to share it with someone who might benefit. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a conversation.
Remember, you don't have to walk this mission alone. We're honored to walk alongside you.
See you next time.